Let me. Hey,
Don't
can you
apologize.
hear me?
I could perfectly. Yes. Nice to see you.
Yay! Finally, take two
Yes.
and.
Woo!
So,
Yeah. How are you?
yeah, I'm okay. Actually, it's already the start of my sabbatical leave. So,
Oh my goodness.
yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm
you did it.
yeah. I'm just, when you're starting to have like a slow time, you feel that your body is saying, okay, you're tired. Now
Oh,
rest. So that's
yes.
what I'm feeling.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what usually happens is you get sick because you've been
Oh, I
like,
hope not.
so don't do that. Because
No,
you've
no,
been
I
like,
hope not.
if you do what I do, I push and push and push until I can rest, and then my body says, "Okay, now pay attention to me."
Yeah, well, I hope I won't get sick.
Yeah.
But,
So
I
take
feel
care.
like, yeah, I told my the staff team, okay, I'm on the last bit. I'm already crawling because I really need to rest.
Yeah. You've been pushing for a while now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Years?
Um, well, I've been the national director for 6 years.
Mm,
So,
that's a long time.
yeah, well, actually, it's not. With all
Okay.
the things that need to be done, I think it
Yes.
will take 20 years, but
Yeah.
I can only stay for 6 years. So,
You were amazing. You were, yeah. So I want to just say thank you so much for your time. And I know that you are now on your way to rest. So thanks for your time in the midst of everything to chat. Yeah. So I
anytime,
really,
and
yay. So yeah, why don't we start off by if you could introduce yourself and what were you the national director of for 6 years?
okay, hi everyone, whoever is here. My
Yeah.
name is Chris. My name is Christy Jutare, and I'm the former national director of InterVarsity Christian Fellowship Philippines
Woo!
until December 31, 2020. So
Wow.
now I have a new role or a new designation, and that's resource development and graduates ministry. That's actually two departments.
Whoa. That's a
Yeah.
big job.
Well, that's the area that we still need some, you know, clarity systems,
Mm,
and we need to put more to these departments.
yeah. So I was involved, as you know, when I was a student with InterVarsity here in Canada, and
Yes.
it was so powerful to me as a young person. So InterVarsity, for those of you who don't know, is basically an organization that works with university students and also people who've graduated from university, and sometimes here in Canada we work with high school students as well.
Yes, we
So in
do
some,
that too
oh,
here.
you do? Great.
Yeah.
So yeah, some parts of the world we work with high school students as well, just really bringing pastoral care to them as they walk in their faith or even discover faith in God, and then help them disciple them and mentor them so that they can grow into being really strong in their faith, Jesus, as well as their academics. So not
Yes.
to have them separate, but actually understand that you are a whole person. You have a spiritual, you have a physical, you have a mental and emotional aspects.
Yeah.
So then when I went to university and got involved with InterVarsity, I had no idea they would land me in this incredible global family.
Yeah.
And what an honor, honestly, to meet people like you, Christy. I admire you so much. So, hi, somebody's joined. So I'm gonna wave at you. Maybe whoever comes on the call, just feel free to introduce yourself and say who you are and how you know Christy. That'd be really fun. And if you have any questions for her, you can also certainly add that to the
Well,
question.
actually, yeah, I invited some people in Eurasia, but of course, right now it's like 3 o'clock in the morning
Oh
for
no.
some, 1 o'clock in the morning for others.
Oh no.
So they said they will watch the the recording of this one because I said I will be sharing something about Eurasia as well.
Perfect. Great. Yeah. So yes, we are recording and saving this session on Instagram, and then I download and I upload to YouTube. So I'll send Christy, I'll send you the link as well.
Okay, thank you.
But I really think that working with those who have graduated from InterVarsity is so important too, especially if they're in their 20s.
Yeah,
You just make such critical, huge decisions in your life, and it's so important to
yeah,
like really come and be also just really provide support to each other, but also see how you can also contribute back to the ministry as grow in your career and continue
yeah,
growing in your faith. Yeah.
yeah. And even in high school, they face critical questions like life questions,
Wow.
and helping them, like InterVarsity has really helped me because I was involved as a high school student.
Wow.
So yeah, so
That's a
all the
wow.
life questions, like how many years ago?
Yeah, I was gonna say, how many years ago was that?
Yeah.
Just 10 years ago. Not a problem.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Actually, 7 years ago, and
7 years ago. Uh,
yeah, so yeah, InterVarsity has really helped in all those, life questions and getting to
mhm,
know yourself, finding
mhm,
yourself, and what God has created you to be, and
mhm.
the strengths that you have that you can contribute to the church, the general church,
Yeah,
God's church, and God's kingdom. So,
yeah. That's so
yeah,
important. I think it's so important, especially when you are in high school, because everything is being thrown at you and it's a big world out there. But then also to
yeah,
know who you are before God and your identity in God
yeah,
is really important in those years. So thanks for
yeah.
all you do. So
And you too.
oh, thanks. So Christy, I was wondering, do you remember when we met? When was the first time we met? Do you know?
I can't really remember, but I do know that we see each other in every continent.
I know. That's awesome.
Like, yeah, IFES conferences, the governance development program of IFES.
Yes.
I don't know when we met, really. I can't remember if there was one time.
I don't
I
remember
need to jog
either.
my memory, but
I know, but I feel like I've known you my whole life, and it's been so great. Like, I feel like we just go way back, and so
yeah.
it's
But
been
maybe
so,
well, I can remember the one in Atlanta, Georgia. We spent
yes,
like 3 days
that
in
was,
governance training. Um, you were the project coordinator then for IFES governance training.
yes,
So we spent like 4 days, 5 days together.
intense, intense meetings.
Intense days because we really had to put our brain cells
I know.
and really think.
We worked our, can I say, butts off. I'm so proud of us.
Yeah, we worked. We
We worked
worked
so hard.
hard. It was
Yeah,
hard work,
we
but
worked hard, we played
but you
hard.
know,
It was
yeah.
good. Yeah,
And
that
then
was,
after that, sorry, after
oh,
that, I saw you.
well, I just want to say, I think that board governance, the governance development project was one of the most gratifying projects I've ever worked on
Yeah, that's
because of the influence that it had on InterVarsity movements all over the world. So InterVarsity is a member of the International Fellowship of Evangelical Students, and
Yes.
we're in about 170 plus 180 countries of the world.
Yeah.
And
You
so,
there?
and each country has their own board because they're all independent and autonomous. And so
Yeah.
then Christy is one of the amazing global trainers that trains all these boards in all these different countries and parts of like in regions. So you were,
Mm-hmm.
man, and then to have the materials translated into Arabic, Russian, French, and Spanish.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And other languages too. Like if we do training, it's in Thai,
wow.
in Khmer in
Whoa.
Cambodia.
Whoa.
Translated it in I can't remember, but every country that you need to do training in, it needs to be translated in that country's language. So the major
That's
ones are those. Uh,
impressive. And then we were working with this gentleman, Augustin, who I think, was he from
yeah,
Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory
Cote
Coast?
d'Ivoire, Cote
Yeah.
d'Ivoire. Yeah.
So immediately we launched this program, and then he and all of you guys start training all these countries, and he went into French Africa and started training and he immediately started just splitting up the materials differently than what we planned in
Uh-huh.
Atlanta. And so I was like, oh, Augustin, what's happening? That is not what we planned. And he goes, oh, that won't work in French Africa. He immediately
Yeah, he knows his
contextualized.
context.
Yes. And that was fascinating. And I thought, if I was ever going to do a PhD or doctoral work, I would love to study what you guys have done, because it's the same material, but then you guys
Hmm.
contextualize it so easily into your context because that's where you're from, you know, the culture, you know, the language. And so I was like,
Hmm.
what does that look like? That would be so fascinating, I think.
Yeah, actually, no. We there's a lot more topics that
Oh,
were we added more topics, like six, 7 or 8 topics.
what? So what topics are
Yeah.
you training on now?
Like taking care of the general secretary, trust, issue
Ooh,
of trust in organizations,
yes.
um, transitioning into a new
Yes.
general secretary or transitions within the movement.
Oh, great.
There are other topics, yeah, like how do you evaluate your board,
Oh, yes.
evaluating the general secretary, and yeah, there are a lot now. And we also have e-learning um,
Great.
stuff.
Oh, man,
So
I'm so proud of you guys. I would,
yeah,
so did
yeah,
that,
you can't believe how it metamorphosed
I'm
into
so,
this
I love
into
it.
these different topics, and how God has just led us.
Yeah. And honestly, the influence that you've had on these movements will impact them for at least 5 to 10 years. So that's really supporting the ministry in all of these countries. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you were training in how many languages and how many regions of the world?
Oh, I only trained. Well, each region has a like trainer. Like so, I'm usually doing it in English.
Oh, okay.
So no, I'm you're a champion for a region, so I'm championing for East Asia because
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
here.
That's awesome. So that's why also
Yeah.
you've been to Cambodia and where else? In Thailand?
Thailand, Cambodia,
Wow.
Myanmar. Oh, I can't. Oh, I can't. Yeah, we need to pray for Myanmar, but yeah.
Yes.
But
Wow.
I did it mostly as well in the former Soviet Union countries in Eurasia, but because that's where I was when I
Yes.
first started with the governance training.
That's amazing. So then what led you to you lived in Eurasia, didn't you?
Yes.
So what prompted you or what led you to move there?
Actually, well, I was a staff with InterVarsity Philippines in, 1986. And what? How old were you then?
Um,
I
high
was a
schooler?
high school staff,
Okay. That's
and then,
amazing.
of course, I grew in InterVarsity, so I was a staff.
Yeah.
And then after 6 years of being in Metro Manila, I was assigned to the north of the Philippines. I was a lone staff and covering like
Oh,
5 cities, 5 areas.
wow.
And in InterVarsity, we have this what we call the Day of Prayer every first of the month, first Saturday of each month.
Hmm.
And graduates and the students decided that they said we will adopt a region in the world to so that we can pray for them like regularly. So
Oh,
they chose Eurasia or the former Soviet Union
yes.
and specifically a country. I don't think I can mention that country, but
Sure.
a country in Central Asia. And so we tried to find like information about this country, but during that time there was not a lot of information. So we just had dinners. We prayed for this country. Even the
Wow.
graduates would really, you know, like try to find information. And we really prayed for this country and the former
Wow.
Soviet Union. And during that time, we cannot even pronounce the names of the countries.
That's right.
So anyway,
Weren't they brand new
so
countries?
what?
Weren't they brand new countries? They were very new.
No, they were not very new, but of
Oh,
course, as a Filipino, we did not really know anything much about these countries.
yeah,
And
you did
even,
research.
like pronouncing the names were hard.
Totally.
But so we just continued to pray. And one time we had a meeting with the graduates, and we said, we invited an American missionary who has been in the Philippines for almost 20 years
Oh,
and to talk about mission opportunities for Filipinos, like
wow. Yeah.
talking about, yeah, different countries or other countries. So before his talk, he said, well, my son is in this particular country, in the former Soviet Union,
Yes.
and he is there with IFES. And so, you can see our mouths
Oh, yeah. Like I can
because we
imagine.
have been praying how we can help that specific country, specifically with IFES.
Yes.
And so here's this guy who has a son who's living there. So I
Oh.
said, after his talk, can I get the email address of your son? So,
Yeah.
so I wrote immediately. And then he said, okay, you need to write to this person who is my supervisor. So I wrote to the supervisor. And the supervisor, you know him, he's Canadian.
Yes.
Um, yeah, but I can't mention names.
Nope, that's okay. I know who you're talking
So,
about.
yeah, he wrote back and said, yay, we need you, please come. And I said, I'm not asking questions for myself. I'm asking questions for the graduates in my team or in my group, or in my area. And so that started the conversation, like email conversation, and we just emailed back and forth until in
Oh,
19 something, I can't remember, but 1990 something, he said, why don't you come and do a look and see
wow.
time in Central Asia. So I said, give me time. I will raise support for my trip. It took me a year to raise support just to
Wow.
go and spend like 6 weeks
Oh my
traveling
goodness.
around Central Asia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And on the first day there, and well, before I went to Central Asia, I was having all these dreams about the
Oh,
country, about this specific silhouette. There's a silhouette of a city.
oh.
And well, on my first day in that country, when I arrived, the supervisor took me up on a hill in a gondola, and I saw the city, and it's just, I was so surprised. And he said, what's wrong? I said, I saw this in my dream.
That's
Yeah. So
incredible.
he said, maybe it's you that God is calling to come here and not your graduates. So I said, okay.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
So yeah, I said, okay, give me another year to raise funds so I can come back. And
That's so cool. Well, really, you were praying all that time, and it was actually you.
yeah, we were so yeah, well, I've been sharing to the students that sometimes when you pray, you have to be ready to be the answer to your own prayers.
Oof, good one.
Yeah.
Wow. How many were you,
So
so you had to learn Russian or
Russian.
yes?
At the beginning, I tried to learn Kazakh, or I tried to learn both. But
Okay.
it's too difficult to be learning both
Oh dear, that sounds
at the same
difficult.
time. Two different and difficult languages. So yeah,
Are they?
I opted to Russian.
Okay, yeah. Well, that makes more sense because it's just more broadly spoken in the region, correct?
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. So, what did you learn when you were there? Like about the culture, the people, or what's
Oh,
your
so
best
many
memory?
things, and that's a totally different world to me. Can you imagine? Like,
No, but I
I'm
would.
Asian. I'm Asian,
Were
and
you?
we
Did
have no
they?
snow.
Right. Snow. Sorry about the
We
weather.
have no winter. What? Even the winter I know is just, I lived in the States, but the winter I know is, of course, Chicago winter.
Pretty
That's
cold.
also cold.
Yes.
Yeah, but the country's winter is like minus 40 centigrade,
Yeah.
and
Ugh.
that happens like for 4 to 5 months
No
of
way.
winter. So yeah, that so having to like brave the minus 40 winters.
It hurts. It actually hurts your
Yes, but
lungs.
you know, I learned to, well, I had a good shuba or winter coat.
Yeah.
You really had to learn to layer.
Yes.
Um, my apartment was really warm actually when I come home after school because I was teaching there. I would take off everything and wear shorts and a tank top because my apartment is really, really warm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So,
And
go ahead.
yeah, in the apartments in the former Soviet Union, you have a small window. They call it fortichka. You open that because there's no, you cannot control
Oh.
the heaters. So you open that small window and allow the cold air to come in,
You're
and that
kidding.
balances the. Of course,
That's
the newer apartments would have that now, but
okay. Well, that's terrible. Wow. Wow. Good for you.
so
So,
yeah.
what was your best memory of living there?
Oh, actually, living in an apartment with some of the students that we discipling was like life. You disciple them in life and other
Yeah.
things. So they lived with me and
Wow.
in this apartment. Yeah, but they were also like student leaders, and then they became staff.
That'd be really gratifying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow. Hey, so for those of you who are on the call or watching or listening, feel free to introduce yourself in the comments or if you have any questions. So you can always ask Christy if you have any questions. or it'll just
Yeah.
or it'll just be me asking all the questions. That's so great. Wow. So if you were gonna, what is one thing you want the rest of the world to know about the church in Eurasia?
Oh, wait,
That's it.
somebody's calling.
Okay.
Let me just turn it off.
Oops.
Sorry.
Is there
Yeah, can you
something?
say that again? Can
Oh,
you ask the
sure.
question again?
Yeah, what would be something that you would want like people to know about the church in Eurasia or about the people or culture there? It's
Um,
like really one of those.
can
Sure.
Hello?
In the meantime, hope you guys are doing
Pwede po, mamaya may interview po ako. Mamaya. Mamaya na lang po. May ano po ako, may meeting po ako. Sandali. I turn it off.
okay.
I'll turn that
Sorry.
because they will keep calling. Sorry.
No, is it your family?
No, no, it's I don't know what it
Oh,
was.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so what do I want people to know about the church in Eurasia?
Yeah.
The church in Eurasia is vibrant and living, and the believers there are really ready to actually give their lives because it's a combination of different types of people. There are uh, Orthodox believers, there are Muslims or
Mm-hmm.
coming from a Muslim background.
Mm-hmm.
And so those coming from the Muslim background are really, when they make a decision,
Mm.
they need to be prepared for really giving their lives or giving up their families.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So that's
And
it's a huge
yeah,
sacrifice, like potentially.
yeah. So it depends on which country of Central Asia the people are. The degree of being a Muslim also increases with as you go south.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Um,
really? Okay.
yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that. I've never been to that part of the world at all. So,
Yeah.
huh. Um, and then you moved back to the Philippines 6 years ago then?
Yes, 2013. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, 7, 8 years ago almost. Crazy.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And so, yeah, I'm just curious, like, you guys have been doing such amazing work this year in the Philippines responding to COVID. Crazy.
Yeah.
Can you tell everybody, like, what you've been doing?
Well, it's all in what the IVC of Philippines is all over the Philippines, of course. So there are
Mm.
regions, and different regions responded in different ways.
Okay.
Like the central part of the Philippines, the students and the graduates made homemade face shields
Oh, oh, great.
for frontliners. So they
Wow.
distributed it to police officers and those in the hospitals for nurses and doctors.
Whoa.
Because at that time, when the COVID-19 pandemic started in the Philippines, there were not a lot of like face masks and face shields. So
Wow.
they made face shields out of this plastic and put foam in it,
Oh,
so
wow.
that just yeah distributed them. And some graduates in other regions gave food
Mm-hmm.
and sacks of rice to tricycle drivers,
Mm. Whoa.
because these are the ones who are really affected. They have no means in terms of livelihood. They lost their means of livelihood because people are not coming out of their houses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So food, they distributed groceries, food, rice. In some regions, they distributed cooked food. And for us in Metro Manila, we would we distributed or we cooked food for street dwellers. We call them street dwellers because they have nowhere to. They have no homes. They
Yeah.
sleep on the
Wow.
streets. Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
Whew. Thanks for doing that.
Wow, it was actually partnership with a big church in Metro Manila.
Mm,
and with other people and other organizations.
okay.
So yeah, it used to be we would cook every day,
Wow.
but now it's every Saturday. When
Okay.
the pandemic started and everyone is in lockdown, we cooked every day.
Wow,
We
that's
only joined them in April. They have
whoa.
been doing it since March.
Okay. Still, that's
So
a long time. And so
yeah,
did
we would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to start cooking.
you guys are amazing. Wow. And I saw all the food. That's a lot of work. So was it
Why
you
it
guys?
was Yeah, it's several of us in the IVCF office because we live in the well, our office has like quarters where we live. So there's an area for guys, an area for girls, and
Okay.
apartments for couples.
Yep.
So it's like a compound. So
Okay.
all of us, or most of us who are in the compound, we said, okay, we want to help.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome you could do that together.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Thanks. So how
Actually, it started. It started when we did not know what to do. We said we want to help,
yeah.
but we did not know. And
Yep.
then I had a meeting one time, and one person said, "Please help us. We need volunteers to help cook." I said, "Oh, we're looking for something to do, so
Oh,
maybe we
great.
can help cook." Yeah. So
Honestly, I've been seriously concerned about those who there's so many people in the world who don't have like a bank account. So it's like subsistence if they don't work, they
yeah.
don't make any money that day,
Yes.
and if they don't make any money
Yes.
that day, they go hungry. So then
Yes.
it's really bad.
Yeah, actually, one time I went out and I saw a street sweeper. And I said, and she's like older, she's probably about 60 plus. And I
Hmm.
said, ate means older sister. Why are you out here? You need to be home and, you need to be protected. And she said,
Mm,
if I don't go out and if I don't work, we won't have any food for today.
man.
So, yeah, it's just a reality.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for doing that. I really think that like I really want us to learn from each other because you guys are doing extremely practical things, and that's so important. And I think that we need to be remember that that's also really important. Like, yes, important to pray, but also really important to actually do something.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that we teach the students is not just the spiritual stuff, but how to be, how can you be light and salt in your society or
Mm-hmm.
where you are, where you live. So, like I heard our former general secretary say that we shouldn't be so heavenly minded that we are no earthly good.
Exactly. Whoa.
Yeah.
And when I came to Manila, which was the last time I saw you in person,
Yeah.
I I just met all of these amazing Filipino women, like that are just like powerful. And it confirmed my theory that the world is run by tiny Asian women. So
Tiny Asian.
like small but mighty, like so people like you and other women that I met, I was like, you guys are inspiring. Yeah. You
Oh,
just
you just try to live how you see you need to live.
yeah. I just love how global you are too. Hey, can you
Yeah,
help
well, then
us? Sorry, go ahead.
go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, I was wondering if you could help us understand what's happening in Myanmar. Do you know, or do you have a better understanding of what's happening?
I think no, I don't. really know much, but all I know is that they had a coup d'etat,
Yes.
and like several in the government have been officials in the government have
Hmm.
been detained or put in prison. That's as far as I know at the moment, actually.
Yeah.
And all I've seen from the from friends there from Myanmar is just to pray for Myanmar.
Me too. Yeah. So I understand that the military actually arrested them,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is scary, I think. I hope they're
yeah.
okay.
So it's a military coup.
Wow. Whew.
Yeah,
It totally makes you grateful. I mean, for your governments. I mean, I'm really grateful for
yeah,
the Canadian government. I don't think the military is going to overtake. Has never threatened
yeah.
anyway.
Well, I'm not sure about my government though.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know either. So, like, is it for Christians in Myanmar, is it safe for them or is it not safe?
Yes and no. I was there.
Mm,
So we still need to be careful.
yeah.
Even if I did the governance training
Wow.
there. There is a Bible school. There are Bible teachers. I
Okay.
think it needs to be, you know, recognized by the government. But still, people are careful. So I understand that because I lived in Eurasia, and there are areas, countries in Eurasia where we really need to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of meetings, like that. So
Wow. Well,
yeah.
I was actually in Thailand this time last year.
Uh-huh.
Because we were preparing for the Businesses Mission Congress in Bangkok for April, and
Yeah.
then we paused, and then they went virtual, so that's totally different. But I was actually on my way to Bangladesh and
Uh-huh.
with Food for the Hungry, and we were going to visit a refugee camp of Rohingya people. Uh, at
Hmm.
Cox's Bazar,
Oh,
which is,
yeah.
I think, the largest refugee camp in the world, of Rohingya.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm saying that word right. Rohingya people?
Rohingya, maybe. I
Rohingya?
also don't know how to
Yeah.
say it.
they they came from Myanmar. So it's all so
Yeah.
interconnected. Anyway, but
Yeah.
because of COVID, we canceled our trip because we did not want to potentially bring the virus into like some of the most vulnerable people in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would have been terrible. Like here they are trying to like survive, and then we like dumb foreigners
Yeah.
bring a virus in. So yeah, I came back to Canada instead. But anyway, it always amazes me how interconnected we are, um, with each other.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was supposed to have a training in Ukraine, and we were supposed to have a meeting in Israel, and all those that need to be canceled because of COVID.
Oh
Yeah, everything was prepared, all the tickets are there,
no,
but you know,
yeah,
yeah.
it's incredible. Like so, I was actually I took a week off to go to Laos between
Uh-huh.
Thailand and Bangladesh. And then Food for the Hungry, the board in Canada, they were all still in Canada. So they just canceled our flights. And I'm
Oh.
already in Laos. And I'm like, hi, I'm here already.
So wait, what did you do?
I was like, can you guys fly me back to Canada? So I sweet talked Thai Airways and they were very nice to me. I was supposed to go Vientiane to Bangkok to Bangladesh to Dhaka.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, can I just go Vientiane to Bangkok and stop? They're like,
So
sure.
Yeah, so how did you go back to Canada then? Is it from Bangkok? You have to get another air ticket.
Yeah, so I had to get another flight. So that we were working with a travel agent, so she booked it for me, which was great.
Mhm.
But it was a
That's good.
couple of sweaty. I was like a little nervous for a couple days. I was like, when am I going back to Canada? Can I go back to Canada? Yeah, so that was fun. And then it was interesting. Yeah, it was good though. Thai Airways was very kind.
That's good. Yeah, they have to help people at that time
Yeah,
because it's that time when people will have to be going back home or flights are canceled,
everything
and
just
I
started
think they've
going
been
crazy.
working double time.
They were going crazy already. And then
Yeah.
when I was really disappointed because I was going to Dhaka and I was going to see our friend Peter. And I was
Yeah.
so sad. He was gonna like show me around and he's like, we should go for dinner. I'm like, yes, we should.
Yeah. So all our plans, like, they went up in the air.
So you were in Ukraine at the same time?
No, no, no. I was supposed to go to Ukraine, so my visa
Oh,
is ready and my ticket is ready, but we had to cancel the
yeah.
flight because that was in the beginning of April,
Okay.
and things already locked down in the Philippines in March 16th.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah.
Whoa. Well, I remember flying back on Valentine's Day. So I experienced Valentine's Day in Vientiane, Bangkok, Taiwan, and Vancouver. It was one
Wow.
long Valentine's Day in four different countries.
Wow.
I was just like,
You were
uh,
supposed to have a Valentine's date then. Did you?
yeah, I was like, I need more chocolate. Anyway, wow. So that's awesome. Let's see. I do remember we also met in Cape Town.
Sorry?
We also met in Cape Town
Oh yeah, yeah, for Lausanne.
for Lausanne and 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, we met there. That's probably was that the first time that we met? I can't remember, and I
I don't either. It was so fun. I just remember the reception that we had in Cape Town for IFES.
yes.
And
Yes. It
do you remember?
was fun because I saw different people like friends.
Yes. I was planning that whew, for about 8 months before, um,
Uh-huh.
doing all the operational support for the program team. So I was basically taking care of 450 people. Whew.
Yeah.
And, and then we get there.
You did a great job, Anne.
Oh, thanks. I think we're all still traumatized. I
You
was just, I was talking to the communications director last week, who was the communications director for Cape Town. And she's
uh
like, can you believe it's 10 years ago? I'm like, it's seared into my mind, all the work that we did.
Yeah.
It was fun. And then, yeah, I don't remember what I was going to
Yeah.
say,
Cape
but it was,
Town. My room. Do you know who my roommate was in Cape Town? Buff.
no. What?
Buff Cox.
Oh, oh, that's so great. I love her.
Yeah.
She's good to me.
Yeah. I miss
Yep.
her. That's when she told me about her sickness. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. So yeah, it was really some good people were there. Um,
Yeah.
what was I gonna say? I don't remember. Oh yeah, I think when I arrived, there was this lady who was working with me from the Navigators, and then
Mm-hmm.
we arrived, and everybody was basically InterVarsity people from all over the world.
Uh-huh. And you were saying hi, hi, hello. It
And
was
my
like a
friend,
reunion.
yeah, my friend said, "You didn't tell me that it's basically an IFES reunion." I was like, "Oops."
Well, yeah. I learned that I think Lausanne has like even the speakers, it's about 60 to 70% from IFES, and the
Yeah.
attendees were like mostly from IFES. So I think you can see the reach
Yes.
of IFES in even in our churches. Yeah, it's quiet, but it's there, it's working. It's.
Yeah, I agree. It's been eye-opening, I think, to know that the influence of like working with all these students all over the world all these years, that it just has been such a, hopefully, a good and positive influence in the world, not just the church, but in the world
Yes.
as a whole.
Yeah.
So I was really excited. I had no idea, but I was really, really, really proud to be part of this amazing organization.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so okay, you're about to start your sabbatical, but I was going to ask you what your plans are for the next little bit. What are you up to?
Well, this month I intend to really rest.
Yes.
I owe it to the staff. I need to be a good example.
Good.
But during this time, I still have little bits of meetings like governance training and
Oh,
networking with other Christian organizations that work with student ministries. Like just little bits of meeting.
mm-hmm.
But I intend to rest.
Great. And are
And
you, sorry, go ahead.
go ahead.
I was wondering if you're in Manila or if you're in Ilo Ilo City.
Actually, I'm in Ilo Ilo City. That's my
Yay.
city. That's where my mom is.
Love it.
Yeah. So the next time you come, you need to come to Iloilo.
I would love that. Honestly, also because it's the coolest name for a city I've ever heard.
Iloilo.
Does it mean something?
Well, in it used to be called Ilong Ilong.
Oh,
Ilong means nose
what?
in Filipino. And it's because the map shows it looks like a nose. So they said Ilong Ilong, but then they shortened it to Iloilo.
No way. That's the best. I'm so glad I asked. You guys are like, you have so much fun. You have like a really fun culture. It's cool if you actually ask good questions. You learn a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, that goes for all cultures. You just
Okay.
need to ask.
Okay, I need to ask more questions. Oh man, that's so cool. Well, I hope that you're gonna rest.
I hope so too.
Let's see, it's almost February, so when is durian season?
Durian season is March, April, May, the summer season.
Oh,
It's
okay.
near.
All right. I had my first durian in the Philippines.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't terrible.
Actually, I'll give you one of my secrets. I don't eat durian.
Why?
I don't know. It's I
Gross.
eat the candied durian,
Okay.
but I don't really eat
But the
the
fresh one?
real fruit durian.
Oh, I felt like I wasn't really Asian until I'd eaten durian, so
It's okay.
okay. That's awesome. I feel better.
Yeah, I'm Asian. I don't eat. Or maybe I can say I'm Asian. I don't eat durian, and I'm still Asian.
And we still love you.
You know,
Wow. And I think the best pineapple I'd ever had in my life was also in the Philippines.
the best what? Apple?
Pineapple?
Oh, pineapple. Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
I could not believe how fresh it was and sweet and juicy.
yeah,
It's just not fair,
yeah.
like the pineapples that we get in Canada.
You're making my mouth water.
I know it makes me sad because there's no way.
There are other fruits and that you need to taste.
Ooh, okay. Like what?
Yeah, lots.
Oh,
Lanzones, atis.
what?
Uh, yeah, there are a lot. Of course, we have avocados. We have avocados in our backyard here, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've had dragon fruit. Um,
Dragon fruit, yes. You had that in Thailand. They have lots in Thailand, I think. Yeah.
yeah, but okay, so I have to come back to eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, come to my city and then we'll go to the beach.
Okay, yes, thank you. All right. Well, I should let you go, but I just want to say thank you so much, and I hope you rest, really rest. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Be a good example to the rest of us. Thanks,
Thank you,
Christy.
Anne.
Okay.
Anytime you call me,
Okay.
you know.
All right. Sounds good. You're awesome. Okay.
Thank you. God
Bye.
bless.
God bless. Bye.
Rest as well.
Oh, I will. Definitely. Okay.
Yes.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.